Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time. In this video, I'll talk to you about what could potentially be the future of the House and the Senate. I read all the comments. I know how my viewers and how my subscribers, how our community feels about what's going on in Washington, about the chaos in Congress, about the gridlock between the administration and the Democrats. And I know that we are very frustrated with both sides. I know there's a lot of discontent, and I actually believe that public perception in the government is going to be shattered for a long, long time. What could be the solution to something like this? Well, according to Heather Long, who's an economics correspondent for the Washington Post, there's a new wave, a new breed of political candidates, and these candidates are unemployed workers. Now, there is a Washington Post article, and I'll provide you with a link to the Washington Post article in the description section below. And the headline of the article is, "The pandemic is creating a new crop of political candidates, unemployed workers." And on your screen, you'll see a picture of Kelly Johnson. She was mentioned in the article. She's a single mother of 8 and a Democratic candidate for District 65 in the Florida House of Representatives. That is incredible. And she's embracing her 2 young daughters, her young twin daughters in this picture. So I'll provide you with a link to the article and you can read it below. But essentially, the article says that thousands of individuals are running for political office this year. And this is something that's never happened before. And most of them had indeed made the decision well before the pandemic. But the fact is that there are a small number of candidates who have recently jumped into political races after losing their jobs or dealing with other work-related fallout from the pandemic. So we could potentially be seeing a new wave, a new breed of candidates, if you will, as a direct result of the pandemic that are seeking higher office, that are seeking to become lawmakers, that are seeking to become a part of the House. And this is quite incredible. Now, what's even more interesting is these candidates have very little political experience, but what they've been doing is they've been trying to survive this devastating political fallout from this pandemic, which has caused almost 30 million individuals to be on unemployment. And there are no numbers, there are no exact numbers, there's no exact data on the number of these candidates relative to the total pool of candidates at this time. There's also no, we don't know whether these candidates will win. But again, there is a trend, there is a definite trend of how pandemic unemployment is actually becoming a major factor in politics. I want to know what you, my viewers and subscribers, think about this trend in the comment section below. And I would love to hear what are your thoughts on this entire situation? Because what I see is happening. What I see is I believe politics is going to gradually change in our country. I do believe that what we've learned from this, what the lockdown, the essential inconsistency of the federal unemployment benefits, the fact that there's gridlock between the House and the administration. I believe there are going to be a lot of lessons learned, and we are going to see some changes going forward. Speaking of changes and speaking of unemployment benefits, on your screen, you'll see a tweet from Nathan Newman. And Nathan Newman is a policy activist and writer. And Nathan Newman actually provided us with a chart that you can see on your screen right here. And as you can see, the chart shows that consumer spending is actually now collapsing with the end of the $600 a week pandemic benefit, which ended at the end of July at the time I'm recording this video. So this is a graphic from Factious, which tracks prepaid debit cards where unemployment benefits were being deposited. And it's very clear that, in fact, if you look at the chart closely, you can see that what happened in March and April. Let's take a look at the chart in March and April. Now, by the way, the section in blue shows debit cards that were used to deposit unemployment benefits. So it is possible to track the deposits of unemployment benefits in debit cards. And you can see that basically when you track that with the US debit card spending at department stores, the x-axis, if you will, that you see, the vertical x-axis with the baseline. By the way, that baseline that you see, that horizontal line, that is a baseline, that is where spending was pre-pandemic. So you can see that blue line, which is debit cards which is essentially deposits into debit cards with unemployment benefits. You can see that there was a substantial drop in March and April, substantial, when all the shutdowns happened, when all the lockdowns happened, when several businesses closed down, and when lots of individuals were laid off. We're talking temporary furloughs. Many of them have now become permanent. But when that happened, you can see the blue section, there was a substantial decline in the overall degree of spending at that point in time in March and April. Now, as more money was being deposited by way of unemployment benefits, you can see that the debit card spending actually started to go up. So as you can see that the CARES Act stimulus, both the federal unemployment benefits as well as the stimulus checks, allowed us to spend more money. And as you can see from April right up until the end of July, you can see that that curve started to go up. Now the blue curve is debit cards used to deposit unemployment benefits, and the gray is debit cards that essentially demonstrate wages. Now the problem is, if you look at that vertical line that represents the end of July, the 1st of August, at that point in time, the $600 a week federal unemployment benefit stopped. And now you can start to see that for those individuals who are depending on unemployment benefits, it's all the way down. Not only is that showing, a reduction in unemployment benefits, because a lot of us haven't even gotten the $300 a week federal booster yet, but it's showing a decrease in spending. This is directly impacting the economy, as you can very well imagine. So this is where things stand right now. And by the way, that gray line, the gray line that you see that sort of went through an uptick after the 1st of August, those are individuals who've gotten their jobs back, who've had the opportunity to go back to work, who are, who presumably can do remote work. And I've talked about this elsewhere on my channel. There's a big discrepancy between low and middle income earners and between high income earners. So those individuals are indeed essentially back on track and are spending more money. But the low income individuals and the individuals who are depending on unemployment benefits, they are struggling right now. And that is directly reflected in terms of their spending at department stores. In other words, they're spending on retail, which is a direct indicator of how the economy is doing. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. I want you to comment below and comment on two things. If you want, comment on both those things or just comment on one of them. Do you believe that we are going to see a new wave of political candidates throughout the country? Do you believe we're going to see potentially younger candidates who are getting into politics, A, because they're unemployed, B, because they want to make a change in the system? Because, our senators and our lawmakers, they have pretty decent salaries. Okay. So, there could be an attempt to obviously, make a difference. I'm sure a lot of individuals want to make a difference, but, our lawmakers and our senators are well paid. That's just a fact. So I want you to comment below and let me know, number one, do you believe there's a new wave of applicants, if you will, of aspiring politicians as a direct result of unemployment, as a direct result of this phenomenon called pandemic unemployment? Okay. And number two, also let me know what you think about this relationship between unemployment benefits and spending. Again, let's take a look at this chart. This chart basically shows you that individuals who didn't receive unemployment benefits started spending less money. Let me know what you think about that. Do you think that as a result of the unemployment benefits, people have saved money and are now able to, and are essentially waiting for the economy to improve and then will start spending again? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. Thank you so much for watching. If you did learn something new, please click the like button below. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. If you don't know anything about me, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. Check out my video on our channel. You'll learn a little bit about me and how I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. I'm looking forward to helping you live your American dream. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate that. It does help out the YouTube algorithm, and it allows us, me and my team and all of us involved behind the scenes to continue to provide high quality content for you. Even when I'm outdoors and I'm sweating, I'm actually sweating. You can't see it. I'm perspiring quite a bit because it's super hot and humid out here. But we do that because we're committed to providing you, the Ignition Time community, with awesome content that will allow you to know what's going on in the world. Because what we get on liberal news media and on conservative news media is, I believe, it's too one-sided. I'm trying to provide you with objective information that allows you to make the right decisions financially for your future. Well, thank you again. Thank you so much for watching. If you do want to get alerts from us, get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000, and you'll get instantly added to our alerts list going forward. You can also get added to our email list, and then you can opt out of those emails at any time. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. Please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.